Hello and welcome to Victor Podcast. I'm so excited to bring you another great edition. My guest this week is Eric Jacquier, and listen to who's going to introduce him.
Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and I would like to introduce you today to my good friend, Eric Jacquier. He's the founder and CEO of JTD Coaching and Consulting. Eric is an exceptional leader and speaker who provides top-of-the-line speaking, training, and coaching services to clients who are looking to increase their business and personal productivity. Eric is a graduate of the Brian Tracy Speaking Academy, my speaking academy, and an executive director of the John Maxwell team. John Maxwell is a great leadership expert and a good friend of mine as well. He's also a certified speaker and coach for Jack Cranfield. Again, a great friend of mine. He's extremely detail-oriented and always provides his clients with a first-class experience. I promise you, will not be disappointed. When you get to know him, you will want to work with him to help you and your company become more successful.
Our conversation with Eric is about resilience. It's about taking opportunity when it knocks on the door and taking full advantage of it. And our conversation is about taking responsibility for your life and we're willing to turn it around. Listen to the podcast, invite others to share with you, and I would love to see and read your comments. Hi, Eric, and thank you so much for your time today. I've been looking forward to a wonderful time of having this great conversation with you. So welcome to the Victor Podcast. I know you're a very busy man, and thank you for taking time to be with us today.
Oh, Victor, it's such an honor to be with you. I'm so impressed with your work and what I know of you, and we've had conversations offline and online, and I've been looking forward to this myself. It's great to be with you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Eric. And I was a short while ago, I was watching a lovely video on YouTube with Brian Tracy, and he was saying wonderful things about you. And, you know, from Brian Tracy, John Maxwell, Jack Cranfield, and I'm sort of thinking, wow, that is really, really powerful. And I'm looking at Eric in front of me and I'm thinking, has Eric always been like that? Or where do you all start from?
Well, first of all, I pay Brian Tracy a lot of money to say nice things about me. No, actually, he and I just kind of hit it off. Wow. You know, the whole story began based on tragedy.
Wow.
And the tragedy that was my life.
Wow.
Because not all that long ago, and I'm talking about 3 years ago, I was not in the place I'm in now. And my business tanked. My former business, you know, just completely unraveled. And the unfortunate thing is, the unfortunate part was it was caused by my former wife's family. And mistakes were made, and there were things that I did not do well as I should have. But, you know, it cost me without getting into the story, it cost me my marriage. It cost me my business. It cost me a lot of money to get out of it and to get rid of her family. And it caused a chain reaction of events that I really wouldn't wish on anybody.
Wow.
So when I began the journey, it really was about finding success. And I thought I knew what success was, but in hindsight, I really did not know what success was.
Wow.
So the journey, the reason I saw it, I mean, it started with John Maxwell. I did a lot of studying and I attended his convention. And as luck would have it, in order to become certified in John Maxwell's teaching, you had to give a speech at the table. There were 3,000 people at this convention.
Wow.
100 tables of 30. This was in Orlando, Florida. The setup was unbelievable. So you had to give this speech. And in order to qualify, you had to hit within 30 seconds, 5 minutes and 25 seconds. As luck would have it, I hit it on the nose, which got me a degree of recognition.
Wow.
And I was voted best potential coach and speaker at the table. And because of that, I was rewarded with the chance to attend the Brian Tracy Speaking Academy.
Wow.
So I got to spend 3 days with him. Now, I will tell you, long before I ever met him, I was always a fan of his. I read a lot of his books. You know, I had known of him for 25 years before I met him.
Wow.
We met at a fortunate time because circumstances existed where he and I just sort of clicked.
Wow.
He was coming off some physical issues that he was having. I was born with a physical disability. I was born with cerebral palsy.
Oh, wow.
So, make a long story short, I think he was a little bit curious about me. And when he took us all out for dinner after the first night of the speaking academy, somehow the table was arranged where I got to sit next to him.
Wow.
And we spoke and we talked and we just kind of hit it off. He liked me. So at the end of the speaking academy, he said to me, I can tell you that you can make a living as a speaker.
Wow.
You're as good as 90%, 97% of the people out there. But in order to really be great, you've got a lot of work to do. To get that extra 3% to become top of the line, you've got a lot of work to do.
Wow.
If you're willing to do it, I can help you. If you're not, I can wish you luck and tell you to stay in touch. But if you're really willing to do the work, I can help. So I live in New York, and I flew. This was a 6-hour flight to San Diego.
Wow.
I flew back home from San Diego, and I went to work. And I kept in touch with Brian, and he was kind enough to introduce me to Jack Canfield.
Wow.
At least to take one of his courses. So let me know if I'm rambling too much. I don't want to interrupt.
Go ahead. I'm loving this. And everyone listen to this.
So I take this course, Train the Trainer online.
Yeah.
And I get this call, and it was this time. It was a week before Memorial Day. It was about 3 days before Memorial Day weekend. And I actually get this call from Jack, and I didn't know Jack all that well.
Wow.
You know, I knew him through Brian. I knew of him. He knew of me. But I was far enough along in the course. He calls me. He said, I wonder if you can do me a favor. I was actually just coming out of a print shop. Wow. So I wasn't even home. I was half an hour from my house, sitting in my car. He said, we need additional trainers.
Wow.
He said, what I'm going to ask you to do is not fair. And you're welcome to turn me down. But if you could finish the course and take the test and pass the exam, I'll make it worth your while.
Wow.
When is the test? 6 hours from now.
Wow.
You know, there are times in life, Victor, you either do something or you don't.
Yeah.
I decided, why not? I'll try.
Yeah.
I passed the test.
Wow.
And Jack said to me, would you be interested in further coach training? It seems like you have the makeup to become a top flight coach. Okay, what does that entail? Well, it entailed another 6-month commitment. And, you know, with every opportunity is always the commitment.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not, nobody waves pixie dust or a magic wand in front of you, Victor, and you automatically become what you become. Excuse me, with every opportunity, there is hard work to reach that next level.
Yeah.
And every time an opportunity provides itself or presents itself, you have to be willing to do the work.
Yeah.
So I immersed myself in this course and then realized very quickly it wasn't enough for me. I wanted more. I wanted more knowledge. So I kept building and I kept building, and everybody was so kind to me in that every time I either finished something or wanted to start something, a new door would be open. So here I am now, all this time later, where I've become not only a student of Brian and Jack, not so much Maxwell anymore, because to work on the Maxwell platform didn't wind up making sense for me in terms of the kind of business I decided I wanted to build.
Yeah.
But where it was now the student, now it's become friend, colleague, partner to a certain extent, because we're going to be doing some things together. It's very exciting. It's quite a story. It really is.
It is.
I wish I didn't have to go through what I had to go through to get here. But the journey has been quite something. It really has.
I just love the way the journey has gone, because it started from trying to sort of seek knowledge and build yourself. And it's amazing how someone listening will begin to think, wow, because he just started off, okay, I'm going to go for a John Maxwell thing. Then he sort of rolled and rolled and rolled over. And it's amazing how it just carried on. And it just shows the power of actually just saying, okay, I want to pick myself up. I want to start something. And look at how far it's actually brought you now. And so can I say you became a coach accidentally, or has that always been the plan?
Quite a marketing tool, isn't it, Victor? The accidental coach.
That's a good one.
It's not what I use for my marketing.
You're right.
But actually, you know what? It was accidental and it wasn't. Now, it's funny because I have a very close friend, and she and I, we go back 35 years. And we've known each other through every incarnation in our lives.
Yeah.
And she said to me recently, we had dinner not long ago.
Yeah.
And she said to me, you know, in a sense, it's so natural for you because you've always really been one for all of us.
Wow.
And I never really thought of it that way. So I think what I see, I'm not all that into the spiritual, but I don't believe accidents happen. I think somehow, rather late in life, I fulfilled what I was really supposed to be doing, having been off that path for a good many years.
Wow.
So I don't know if it's accidental. I think the way it's happened, I think that to the degree that it's happened, the fact that three very famous people took enough of a personal interest in me to help me get to where I am now. That's the part that's unreal. That's an accident. You know, had I given that speech instead of right on the money, but had I been like 10 or 15 seconds off each way, would this have happened? I don't know the answer to that.
True.
So that part may have been an accident, but the journey itself, that part's something.
It's amazing, because I think it's in the book, I think The Alchemist, where he said, you know, once you step out into the world, it's like everything lines up for you. So it's more or less you stepped out, and then everything, one of the three greatest men, I can say, when it comes to sort of speaking and training and everything else in the world, you all lined up for you, and then everything fell into place. And clearly from listening to the story, we can hear that there was a lot of work that went into it. A phone call and asking you to write an exam in 6 hours, you know, it took a lot of determination for you to decide and say, yes, I'll take that challenge and I'll do it. So I think
you're lucky I didn't have plans that night.
Exactly, you know, where you had plans, you know, because there's a lot of people who this opportunity will fall in their lap and they will think, no, I'm too busy, or I've got other plans, I've got other things to do. And then maybe that's how they could just missed out. But you decided, I'm going to do it.
See, and the thing is this, you know, the old saying, opportunity only knocks once.
Yeah.
In a sense, it's really true.
Yeah.
Because had I said no, you know, all I had to do was tell Brian Tracy, hearing you say I'm as good as 97% of people, I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I chose to do more work. When Jack called me, is there any way you can take this exam tonight? I could have easily said no. There would have been no penalty.
Sure.
But would he have paid attention to me? Would he have been impressed with me?
No.
Had I not gone that additional mile? You know, and I will tell you, as I come to, I like both of them so much. They both are two true gentlemen. They're true giants. The great thing is they're also real. If you know anything about their stories, you know what they've overcome.
Yeah.
You get to where they are. You know, the one of the best sayings I ever heard, you know, Jack Canfield was not always Jack Canfield. He was not a known commodity until Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yeah, I'll listen to quite a few of the books. Yeah,
you know, there are hundreds of them, but the thing, everybody starts from someplace, and people see these people as these giants, and they are.
Yeah.
But they did a lot of work to get where they are too. It was not handed to them.
True.
And I think people appreciate those who are willing to put in the extra effort. I was.
Yeah.
I also had nothing to lose because everything crashed and burned around me.
Yeah.
So for me, there was no place to go but up. I think that probably entered into it also. But every step I needed to take, and I'm proud to say this, and I encourage your audience with this too. When you take the necessary steps, the rewards will be there. But if you choose not to, or if you choose to take a shortcut, it's not going to be there either.
Wow.
Because they'll move on to the next one.
True. Wow. That's absolutely powerful. So I had other questions, but it's amazing that we've actually just gone, as it's become more interesting now. He's just digging and just learning. And I'm just so inspired, even just hearing your story. And I'm thinking, well, there's no point in asking anything else now. You might as well just take this, absorb it. But I'm going to wrap up by asking a question. Someone listening to you now who has more or less crashed and burned, and they're in a place where they're thinking, Eric, maybe you just got lucky, or you just picked yourself up pretty easily. As in, where do I start from? What is one little step I can take today that will just begin to pick myself up and begin to put my life back together again?
Well, I believe you actually said something in that question that I think is very important, Victor. One day at a time, one step at a time. The way this works is you've got to put in the effort every day. You've got to set aside time to do it every single day. You and I had an offline conversation about time management. You have to take the time to learn what you need to do to be successful every day. Because it does not happen overnight. The only time it happens overnight is if you win the lottery. Now, I may have won the coaching lottery and the business lottery. But again, every single day, I'm sitting at my desk in my office right now. And on my desk is this. And that is a calendar. And that is a list of tasks and things that I need to do each day, each week. And that is what's helped me build what I'm building now. And I say building because nothing is ever really built. It's always a work in progress. And it's my goal every day to get better. And in my coaching, have people become better through my coaching. So it's all a work in progress. But the first thing you need to do, there are two things I'll leave you with real quick. Places to start. The first thing you've got to do is understand where you're starting from. The very first success principle that Jack Cranfield discusses is take 100% responsibility and accountability for your life. So you must start there, and you must be honest with yourself about where you are and how you got there. And then decide where you want to be in the future. The second thing is to write down those goals and objectives and look at them every single day and do everything you can on a daily basis to achieve and accomplish those goals. And whether you're in business or whatever it is you're doing, that's a good recipe for success right there. But there's no magic to it because you've got to put in the time and the work, and you've got to have the commitment each day in order to be successful.
Wow. Eric, I'm blown away. I'm super inspired. I think this is one podcast I'm going to listen to over and over again. Even when I feel as if I've crashed and burned, I think I'm just going to come back here and just listen over and over again. And just before you go, Eric, have you got a website out there, maybe YouTube channel, social media? I'm sure most people might be thinking, I want to read more from this great man. And I know you got a book coming out, so you can tell us when to expect it and how to get it too.
The book is coming out September 14th.
Wow.
And it's called Crystal Clear Leadership.
Crystal Clear.
And it really is everything I've learned over the course of my journey. And my website is www.jtdcoaching, JTD, James Tom David, coaching.com.
All right.
You'll find links to my book. You'll find links to products. a lot of this book is turned into courses that I'm going to be giving, where I can help people achieve their goals and objectives as well. So it's www.jtdcoaching.com.
Beautiful. It will be on the screen too, guys. So you can always get a copy up there, and in the description too, you can always just click and it will take you straight to the website.
Absolutely. It'll be on Amazon. You'll be able to special order it. I'm going to be going around the United States doing book signings and talking to people.
Right.
So, but the way to find me is that, and of course, I want a copy of this podcast because you do a great job, and I want to be able to share this with my followers and my clients as well.
Definitely, you get that link to Eric. That's for sure. So, Eric, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate you. I've learned so much today, and I'm sure the audience have had a smashing time too. So, Eric, thanks a lot, and thank you everyone for watching, for listening, and make sure you share with everybody else because I'm sure they will all be blessed. So stay blessed, everybody. We love you all. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much for listening to the Victor Podcast. I want to encourage you once again to subscribe to my YouTube channel, or to like my page on Facebook, or to connect with me on all the podcast channels. I'm sure you've been blessed. I'm sure you've learned something new from our conversation today, and I'd love to hear what your takeaways are. Next week, I'll be back with another great guest. So stay tuned. And don't forget, once again, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you know when I drop a new podcast. Stay blessed, guys.